Obviously a heavy day on campus for BC with remembering Wells Crowther. Just wondering kind of how you approach that with the team and if you've done anything different from last year.
No, nothing different. I mean, today being the anniversary of 9/11, I mean, we all of us that experienced that, it was a horrendous day, right? And it obviously it hits close to home here at Boston College with the memory of Wells Crowther. We'll play that game later on in the season here. I was at Georgia Tech. I was an assistant coach. I told the team this. I lost one of my closest friends. He worked for Cantor Fitzgerald. He was right there in the flight of the flight line there. Ray Rocha is from Melrose, Mass. Played football with me at Brown. So it hits close to home for me. I was, they evacuated the city of Atlanta that day. I'll never forget it. You'll never forget that day. And it's just it's a brutal memory. And I also talked to the team about, just having, relative to what's going on in the country too, like just having respect for each other, respecting each other's opinions. I think that's huge about a football team. We all come from different places. We all come from West Coast. We have a guy from Africa, the Netherlands, Canada, all over the country, South, Midwest, East Coast, Texas, West Coast. Everybody comes from different backgrounds, and I think it's important that our team does a great job of respecting each other's opinions, and I think that's a big part of football.
One of our photographers' father worked at Cantor Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
They were the first people killed.
Yeah, that was in the right there, and that was brutal, terrible.
Go back to football.
Yep.
Just comment on Turbo. He had more receiving yards than rushing yards. Just talk about that aspect of his game.
Turbo's good out of the backfield. He's very good. He's got good hands. He's a good route runner. He does a good job with the ball in space. Of course, he had the one fumble there at the beginning, but he's been very good with the ball in hand, and obviously we want him to have more rushing yards.
Of course, yeah.
But he does a good job out of it. He's an all-around back. He's what I call a three-down back, so he can play on all three downs. He does a good job of that.
Is that a little bit of an extension of the running game?
Yeah, I mean,
things like that.
Yeah, there's no doubt if the running game's not going as planned, then you want to try to get it out quick. Some of those passes to the back, or quick passes to receivers, tight ends too. Those can take the place of the running game sometimes. Yeah.
Lewis is leading the country in interceptions. I don't know if you knew that, but how does he get so open? How does he do it?
He's just a very savvy route runner. He's smart. He's got really good instincts. He's played a lot of football. He's kind of seen a lot of different coverages. He's on the same page with Dylan, which is really good. They work hard. You guys see him here after practice working almost every single day. So give a lot of credit to Lewis Bond. He's one of the best players to ever play at Boston College, no doubt about it.
You experience this many times with Brady where he has an elite performance and so does it win. What's the message been to Dylan where he had a great performance and he's trying to bounce back now?
I try not to use Tom Brady in the same sentence with any college player that I've coached. With all due respect, and I coached the Heisman Trophy winner at Alabama. So Dylan's doing a great job. He's a one day at a time type of guy. He's a very consistent person. He puts in a lot of work every single day. Like I've said all along, we're thrilled to have Dylan. But it's just 2 games, right? He'll be the first to tell you that. It's only 2 games. Where do we go from here? How do we build from here? He's working to get better every single day, and that's what we try to do.
Coach, Sire Torrance looked to suffer an injury here at practice. Amari and Owen both at Michigan State. Do you have any updates on those guys ahead of Stanford?
No.
Okay.
You got to go 3,000 miles across the country this week. Is there anything in that daunting task you're telling the team about that challenge?
Well, I don't tell them that it's a daunting task, first of all, but I tell them how to prepare and how to hydrate and how to sleep, and the time difference. We take that into account with when we're going to bed on Friday. And so, yeah, we educate these guys on all that. In the end, the ball kicks off at 7:30. I think our guys will be ready to go.
Just
Adding on to that, just what will be the biggest keys to success against Stanford?
It'll be tackling. We got to do a good job of tackling. We got to do a good job of taking care of the ball. We have to improve our running game. I think that has to be better. We got to do a better job on special teams of covering kicks, tackling. We need to kick the ball a little bit better, not down the middle of the field on kickoffs. Punt the ball a little bit better. Everything's got to be a little bit better. And if we do that, then we'll be okay. If we don't, it'll be what it is.
Like you said, only 2 games, but VJ Wilkins has been a part of 2 really big chunk plays in either one. Just wondering, what you've seen from him through those first 2 games, and any consideration putting him as a returner.
Yeah, we consider all those things. Yeah, but no, he's done a good job. I think a lot of it has to do with us putting him in the right spot, him knowing what to do. But he's really had a good week of practice, so we'll see how that goes moving forward, you know, on Saturday. But yeah, he's done a real good job. He's transferred from Campbell. I don't think that's an easy jump, but he's assimilated himself pretty well, and we'll see what he does on Saturday.
Just based off your past experience, what do you expect from Stanford this week, coming off of a bad loss to BYU? Very not a close game.
I've never coached against Stanford, but my past experience is every game's different. Every opponent's different. We study the tape of their first 2 games. They study our tape, but in the end, it's what they believe they need to do against us to beat us, and it's what we believe we need to do against them relative to our team. So, you know, I think every game's different. Those games are important relative to film study, but in the end, we got to play the game the way the game's being played on Saturday.
How would you assess the play of the O-line so far?
Good. Yeah, I think they've done good. They, you know, there's things we can do better. They've pass pro'd pretty well. Run blocking's been a little bit inconsistent, but I think it's improved this week. So I think they've done a decent job, but we can all of us can do a better job.
Just wondering through the tape you've watched, what you see from their quarterback, Ben Goldbranson, and if you're preparing at all for their backup if they decide to make a switch.
Yeah, we don't really know too much about what they're going to do. We prepare for the guy that's been in there 15. You know, he's had some good moments. We got to be ready. They're going to try to run the ball. They got, you know, a good play action plan. They do a good job on 3rd down. They got a great offensive coach in Frank Reich, so we got to do, you know, we got to prepare for the scheme more so than I think the quarterback. You know, they do what they do, so we got to do a good job of being ready for that.
It's coming on Jaden kind of being a money receiver. It's a good red zone option.
Jaden Skeet.
Skeet, yeah.
Yeah, he's done a good job. He's a good route runner. He's smart. He can play on the outside. He can play on the inside. He's got good hands. Instinctive guy. Remember, he was hurt last year. He broke his foot. Now he's back and able to play the whole, you know, the whole season hopefully, because he's a really good player, a really big part of our offense.
A little bit.
Go last one here, guys.
A little bit before my time, I didn't recognize him, but I know Tom McManus was here talking to the team a little bit. Just what he say, and you know, what does he mean to this program?
Yeah, Hall of Fame player here at Boston College. Great guy. I've known him for a long time. He played with my friend Mike Panos here. He was recruited by Coach McNell, played for Coach Coughlin. I think he was a big part of that era that, you know, kind of turned it around there and played in the NFL. Then he played for Coach Coughlin in the NFL. He came back. He's up here quite a bit, and we asked him to stop by, and he did a great job. He talked to the team about grit, dealing with adversity, understanding, like, you know, are you putting everything you can into, you know, being as good a football player as you can be, because that helps the team. Just, you know, he's just a tough guy. He was a great player. You know, won the Bulger Lowe Award, Defensive Player of the Year when he was here. He's in the BC Hall of Fame, and so the players really, the message really resonated with the players. You guys good?
Thank you, Coach.